What is up, guys? It's your boy Smalls. Welcome back to The Vault, the weekly show from Thoughts from the Bench that takes a look back at some of the best and worst sports jerseys of all time. As always, I'm joined by my hilarious fucking co-host, Mr. Benny Buckets.
What's going on? What's going on?
How's it going tonight, man?
I'm good, man. I'm hyped for the theme this week just because everything we got going on heading into the weekend. But
Yep.
I'm rip roaring ready to go, buddy. How about yourself?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. We got record number views on last week's episode. I felt very, very, very good about it, I think we both did coming out of it. We kind of knew going into it that we just had a fucking blast doing it, and usually when that happens, we come out on the other side being like, that was awesome. So
because it was like such a free flowing environment, and it was like I feel like last week, and I mean for anybody who watches, we do try and stick to a list, like a plan for each episode, but for the most part, like last week, we didn't even need one. You know what I mean? It was just like we had something in place, but we were moving so naturally that we kind of were able to toss that shit out the window. So
yeah.
I'm really happy that we were able to put up the numbers that we do, and that's a big thank you to everybody who watched and keeps continue to support us. So
Yep.
We're just gonna keep grinding and do what we do.
Yep, absolutely, man. And again, if you guys like what you see, please give us a share, please give us a like, please give us a follow on the Thoughts from the Bench social pages. Keep on watching. Me and Ben are absolutely in love with what we do, which is a nice segue into what the show is actually about. The Vault, first and foremost, is just an opportunity for me and Ben to flex our love of sports jerseys. We live, eat, and breathe these things. And each week we're going to come in with 3 jerseys each to talk through. And it's based on a weekly category that we pick. Last week we did best, or really most outrageous minor league baseball jerseys, because I mean, like, dude, they were at. I don't know if we're gonna. Hopefully, we can top that, but like, it's gonna be tough. But we're just gonna come in each week and just kind of have fun with it, talk through some jerseys, good or bad. It really doesn't matter. This is Thoughts from the Bench's jersey show, though. And of course, we'll mix it up. Me and Ben were talking today. We have a few different ideas for really to kind of mix up what we do on the show. But I think in general, it's good to kind of stick to a relatively consistent, script, if you will.
And something that we're going to throw out every week is, please, if you have suggestions or there was something you like and you want to see a continuation of, if you want to see, say, a part 2 of minor league baseball, something along those lines, any suggestions that you have adds fuel to the fire, and it helps us keep going and making it better, because as much as we are doing this for ourselves, we'd be nothing without the people who tune in and watch. So we want to be able to keep you happy. If you have any suggestions, please contact Thoughts from the Bench on all social media platforms, and we'll see what we can put out for you.
I think a highlight is the fact that this was a complete miss on our end. The Savannah Bananas professional baseball team reached out and said, basically someone said, how did you miss these? And it was like, they were kilts. They were the Savannah Banana kilt uniforms. They were sick. Rafter shit. Like, put this stuff up in the rafters. I loved it. But it was kind of cool that like an actual professional team responded. It was awesome. So, but yeah, so
they were a bit smug to a point.
Well, come on, you're named the Savannah Bananas. I'm a big fan of the Savannah Bananas now just because of that.
I'm very happy that they contacted us, but anyway, I'll leave them. I'll leave the bananas before they get split.
So
I'll leave them.
Ben, I know you're not drinking tonight, and you keep holding out on me, and I'm going to call you out each and every week. And that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. You're letting your boy out to dry. It's fine.
Listen, I'm so sorry. It is gonna happen soon. It's just I there's engagements before and after the show. I'm trying to be responsible. You've known me for a very long time, and the fact that I even said that sentence is a big fucking deal. So.
Yeah, well,
I'm trying.
Regardless of whether or not you're leaving me out to dry, I still want to, like I said last week, I want to give a shout out to whatever we're drinking this, or that particular week, whether it be whiskey, beer, rum, wine, I don't really care. Even if we're drinking fucking Giant Eagle water, whatever you were drinking last week, but.
It's still the same Sam's Purified Chode water, in this nice girthy bottle that we have here for you.
But this week I am drinking the Chamonix Creek, and I don't know how it's really supposed to be said, but the name of the brew,
is that French? Do you think?
Well, it's right outside of Philly. So, those Jagaloons over there, they have some weird names for... Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like sea monsters over there in Philly. Yeah, but anyway.
I'll get into my Philly trip in just a sec, but I was in Philly this past weekend, and I picked up some Neshaminy Creek beer. The name of the brew is This Is Not the New Unfiltered IPA. I don't know if it's pronounced This Is Not the New Space Unfiltered IPA or This Is Not the New Unfiltered IPA. I'm not sure how you fucking say it, but we're going to give it a shot today. So Ben, cheers, water boy.
Mama said alligators are so ornery because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush.
Yeah, we're on those references. I was in Philly this past weekend. That place is.
It's a fucking cesspool.
It breeds
monsters. It's a place
monsters.
where dreams go to die. It's not brotherly love. It's got a fucking cracked bell just like the foundation of that goddamn city. And all it does is breed trash. And if you've got a problem with it, you can come see me and I'll throw you back in a trash can where you belong.
So I know, I went to Penn State. I know a ton of people from Philly. I'm not talking bad on those guys. But man, it's a rough scene there. Dude, we were driving out of the city, and there's a fucking an office chair sitting on the fucking interstate out of the city. Like, just trash. Just someone left a fucking office chair, like, in the middle of the freeway. It's a godforsaken city.
There's trash all over the city. I mean, in stores, on streets and restaurants. Now, granted, they might refer to those as people, but there's trash fucking everywhere. So I think genuinely, it's everyone was worried and complaining about Trump building a wall. When I also want to build a wall, except just around Philadelphia, and then the rest of us is America, and Philly can be their own third world country. And we will continue to progress the way that we're supposed to. But as long as we have Philly a part of this country, y'all want to fucking talk about all these other politics. We need to get Philly the fuck out of the U.S., and then we will be fine.
We love you, Philly. I love Philly. I love Philly people. I love Philly people. We'll leave it at that. Let's get this back on topic here. This week's theme, we're doing the best NFL jerseys pre the year 2000. This was on topic because of, obviously, this weekend's Super Bowl. So we wanted to kind of, stay relevant in this week's topic. Best NFL jerseys. This is actually a topic that you and I did a pilot on, so I think we had some good stuff to go off of. That will never be seen by the public, which is fine. I'm good to keep it that way because
we got this one now.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this is a great topic. I feel like the NFL is almost everyone I know that is a sports fan has some sort of NFL jersey. And there are some gas ones before the year 2000.
Well, and whether people like to admit it or not, especially in the last, probably 30 years, football has become America's sport. Everybody has some tie to football. It pulls in the most numbers view wise. And it's just popular. I mean, I
Yep.
know more people that are into football that don't pay attention to any other sport than the other way around.
Yep.
And I think that too, like you said, it's very correct in terms of being time sensitive with the Super Bowl coming up this weekend. And I'm really excited to dive back into these because there really were some gems back in the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a pretty broad topic too. It's kind of hard to pick from. There also aren't a ton of rare ones either. Like, for the most part, they kind of stick to the classics. Like the Steelers, they've changed their numbers over the past 50 years, and that's pretty much it. So, like, and we have some newer looking ones, but it's definitely a different topic. I feel like there's a lot to expand on though, and it's definitely relevant.
Absolutely.
So, before we go any further, Ben, who do you have in the Super Bowl this weekend?
So my gut always tells me not to bet against Brady, but I just think that these Chiefs can win in any scenario period. And my official prediction is 34-24 Chiefs over the Bucks. Tyreek Hill will be your Super Bowl MVP.
No, that's not
What
bad.
about you, Smalls?
I also have a saying: never bet against Patty Mahomes, because anytime you bet against Patty Mahomes, he makes you feel sorry for it. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I will be live betting the game. I don't know who's gonna win. I'm doing a bunch of prop bets, so I don't really give a shit who wins. But I'm.
Come on! Don't pull a cheap way out. You gotta give us an answer.
All right, I'm going Chiefs. Like I said, you can't bet against Patty Mahomes. I'm gonna go 35-27.
Okay.
35-27. So
Who's your MVP?
fucking
Mahomes?
Yeah, you gotta go with Mahomes, man. I mean, the dude has a rocket arm. I mean, I've never seen a guy throw the ball like that. He's electric. No matter what he does, he's electric.
Worst voice in the NFL, but possibly the best player.
Kermit the Frog. Yeah.
And by the way, I do like Patty Mahomes. I like the way that he plays, and this is not a dig, but the guy, there are some things that you have to question. A, his brother. B, his voice. C, his hair choice. And D, most important of all, this motherfucker chooses hunts. I get that, like Kansas City, with their ties with the Hunt family and everything. Anybody who's a true ketchup lover knows it. Whether you're from Pittsburgh or not, if you're picking Hunts over Hines, you need to go fuck yourself.
Well, dude, that's a money thing. They threw the bag at him. There's no way around that. They threw the bag at him.
I was going to say that I don't give a shit, but I would because genuinely if Hunts came up to me and was like, hey, you can only use our ketchup for the rest of your life, I'd be like, go fuck yourself. And they're like, how's $5 million? Okay, I'll go fuck myself. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So I just threw in some classic Super Bowl commercials here. We got Kramer. This is Pepsi. I don't know. We don't have to keep we don't have to keep it playing. It's just
So this was Kramer pre-racism.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't choose. I couldn't choose where the YouTube started. So we'll move on though, Ben. We are going.
All right.
We are going to go with your first pick.
All right, let's roll right into
classic. Let's go.
This is probably my favorite, and I think this is something that Smalls and we talk about pretty often, that there is something cooler about teams that don't exist anymore. And the Houston Oilers are one of those teams that just define that statement. They obviously were a franchise back in the day, and I think, was it 98 that they moved to Tennessee? 97, 98?
96.
96,
yeah.
Okay. So 1996, they became the Tennessee Titans, and then Houston eventually, in 2000, they got the Texans back?
Yeah.
I think?
Sometime around there, yeah. It was close to that.
So,
yeah.
Houston has always been a pretty big football town, and it was because of these Houston Oilers teams. Now, this one that I have featured here is the 1989 Houston Oilers powder blue jerseys. As you can see, And two of the three pictures here was Warren Moon, who to me was probably one of the best quarterbacks to never win a Super Bowl. In that same vein, with guys like Marino, Jim Kelly, guys like that. These jerseys are just fucking nice. We have referenced in past episodes, if you have watched past episodes, that we think that powder blue is one of those colors that every single time you don't think it would be mean, but it is such a nice combo to go with other colors. And I know that it may be cliche because of America, or it's something that's overdone because we do see it a lot in sports. But the red, white, and blue combo is just fucking clean. It is. And I like the entire design of the jersey. I like the helmet with the actual oil rig on it. I like the red stripe, that there's accents of red, but their primary colors are the powder blue and the white, which we've seen succeed in many different uniform combos, like the Penn's Winter Classic jerseys, the Kansas City Royal powder blue jerseys, North Carolina's uniforms. I mean, it works. It's a color that even just naming all of those, works and is a successful color combo. But the red is a really nice accent in there. And this team was a team that I wish they amounted to more, but they've got some great guys in their history, like Warren Moon, Eddie George, so on and so forth, that helped bring some notoriety to this jersey. But this entire uniform from top to bottom is something that I wish we saw more. Occasionally, the Titans will bring this back. Like a few years ago, they wore it in the Hall of Fame game, which it was during the preseason, which I really like. I would like to see them bring it back in the regular season more, but now we're moving into the color rush era, and the throwbacks are being thrown back to times that I can't believe is a throwback time now. So these might be a little too deep, but this is one that if we're going to talk about before the year 2000, before the new century hit, this is like the precipice of NFL jerseys.
Yeah, no, and like you said, powder blue hits. No matter how you slice it, powder blue just fucking works, no matter what it is. And I think these are probably some of the best ever. And granted, it has more of an allure because the team isn't around anymore. But like, these are just really cool, and there weren't many other guys cooler than Warren Moon. Like, he was just a game changer. There's no other way to look at it. Like, he was just a game changer, and he really, I mean, I don't know. He kind of defined an entire generation of quarterbacks. Like,
and that's the thing, is I feel like he was an electric pioneer. That he was a quarterback that was kind of changing the opinion of what a quarterback was supposed to be, and he was one of those first guys who was a genuine dual threat. And I don't mean just a guy who goes under center and he can run the ball like some people that may play in the AFC North, but I mean like a guy that can actually consistently throw the ball and can consistently scramble. I really like the way that Warren Moon played. Obviously, it was before our time, but getting to look back and watch tape of him, he really was something else, man. And I think that he brings a lot of swagger to that organization of the Houston Oilers and that uniform.
Yep. Could not agree more. I think that's a great first pick. Great way to start off. Let's move on to my first pick.
Great selection.
I switched in this one. Originally I had whenever we did the pilot, I had the New England Patriots with their old logo, which I'm definitely an honorable mention. We'll get to that at the end.
Absolutely.
But there's just something really cool about the Kelly Green Philadelphia Eagle jerseys from pretty much all the way up until I think like the late 90s. I want to give a quick shout out to Vince Luongo, one of my best friends from Penn State. Pretty much the biggest Eagles fan I know, like top to bottom. The dude lives and breathes birds. Like, there's no other way to look at it. Whenever I told him I was going to feature this one, I texted him right away. I was like, hey, tell me about the 88 Eagles. They were a young team, man. They had Chris Carter, Randall Cunningham, who else?
Was Reggie White with them at the time?
Yeah, Reggie White, the Minister of Defense. Like, these guys were no joke. They had so much potential. It kind of sucks that this team right here, they ran into the Fog Bowl against the Bears in the '88 playoffs. And I don't know, like, there aren't many other games where you can say, at least in NFL history, where you can say, like, the blank bowl. And these guys had the fog bowl that kind of stopped the train. Buddy Ryan was the coach, obviously, from the 85 Bears. He, made the 4-6 defense. But there was just something really cool about this team. They were young, they were fast, they were aggressive. I think they even had their own song from what I've been told. Like, they were just a really cool team that kind of embodied Philadelphia. And, dude, there's just something really cool about the Kelly Green jerseys. I don't know what it is. Like, it much better than their, it's called, like, Midnight Green or something now. I think it puts that to shame.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, too, one thing to add in is you got to think about those players that you mentioned, like Randall Cunningham, who was in the same vein as Warren Moon, one of those first pioneer guys to really change how the position of quarterback was being played. But then you did have a young Chris Carter. You had a young Reggie White. These guys, all three, are legends.
Dude, Mike Golick, too.
And Mike Golick. And these are all guys who had prolific careers, and they started here in Philly, and they really built a team that was competitive. They were exciting to watch, and it was a clean look. And I think, like you said, even that just different shade of green, and the fact that their numbers and even the way that the pants are designed and the helmet, like with not a super bold outline, there's not a lot of detail in the wing. I feel like looks blue collar. It looks old school. It looks rough, tough football, and I love that. I'm a big fan of this pick, and I'm honestly really happy that you threw it in here for the episode.
Yeah, no, the logo on the sleeve, too, that old school Eagles logo is awesome. Like, there's other way to look at it. Like, you look at that, and I don't want to say it looks 80s, but it kind of does. Like, it's that, and it's not super cartoony. There's just something, it's like hand-drawn, And
brief intermission. You brought up the 80s. R.I.P. Dustin Diamond, a.k.a. Screech from Saved by the Bell. He passed away after just 3 weeks of battling stage 4 cancer. We will miss you. A lot of people told me that he kind of turned into an asshole when he got older, but I have fond memories of him on Saved by the Bell. So from the 80s and 90s crowd that remembers that show, R.I.P. Dustin Diamond. We're getting back on track. Go back to the Eagles. I apologize. Had to give him a shout.
No, you're good, man. That's definitely a good point. But yeah, dude, the logo, I think, is one of just those classic logos that you can't miss. Like, it is just so Philly, it's not even funny. Ben, you were talking a lot of shit on Philly at the start of the show, but these are fire. Like, these things are gas.
Oh, I still hate Philly, and I think they have nothing good to offer because they got rid of these jerseys. That was pretty much it. And now that these uniforms are null and void, you're back to having nothing.
Yep. Yeah. One of my better friends. Again, I went to Penn State. A lot of Philly kids there. One of my best friends, Anthony Russo. Shout out if you're watching. Russo had a Reggie White Kelly Green jersey. Like, you see these things all the time up there, and they're so much better than what they have today. Like, and the ones they have today they're fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with them, but these are just clearly better. And really, I don't think there aren't many other helmets in the NFL that have a better look even now. I think the wing is just an all-time look. I don't know how you can really beat it. Like,
I'm a big fan of that, and that's I actually am a big fan of a lot of helmets that kind of do something similar like that. Like, I like the Bengals logo that it looks like tiger stripe. Or I'm sorry, their helmet that it looks like tiger stripes. I like that the Rams actually have the horns on the side of their helmet. I like those kind of looks rather than just a flat logo that gets stuck on there. I like that it turns it into something else. So I'm definitely a big fan of that with what Philly did there for sure.
Yep. Definitely not a Birds fan, but at the same time, like,
No, Philly can go to hell. And actually, one of my best friends that I met in the military lived in Philly. His name's Elliot Cure, so I'll give a shout out to him. I love you, buddy, but you fucking stink, and your team stinks. And I hope you're able to figure out whatever the hell's going on with your coach who doesn't know how to speak to the media and your two quarterbacks in your jerseys that should go back to a look like this.
Yep.
So praying for you and in your stinky ass city.
I like Philly. They're endearing to me. They're a city of lovable losers, in my opinion.
Well, our opinions do not reflect each other's for everybody watching because Philly, you stink. It's literally, fine. You smell.
It's fine. Let's go to your second one, man. Love these.
All right, so let's go to an awesome city called Denver. Okay, Denver is amazing and much better than who we were just talking about. I love these uniforms, and I know it's got some mixed reviews over time. I'll be honest, and I know that they do. But we're gonna throw it back to dating myself here, the year of my birth in 1996. We've got these gas Denver Broncos uniforms, and specifically the Orange Crush jersey. So obviously I love the logo, the old school logo with the D and horse, popping out like that. Big fan of that. And I think that the blue helmet with the orange and white stripes going over the center is also good. And I know I say this a lot, but I'm big on accents of color in uniforms that revert back to another piece of the uniform is ideal for me. Like, that's how you paint a masterpiece of a uniform, and I think that that's what Denver did here. This was when they were very good. If you remember the Broncos of the 90s, they had Elway, they had Terrell Davis, they had Bill Romanowski, they had just a lot of key guys that made them a great team, and they were able to win back-to-back championships in Super Bowls 32 and 33. They were a super competitive team, and when you're looking at uniforms like this and seeing those guys play in them, a lot of people think that they might be bland. I think that they were just right. I like that they kept the white pants. They didn't overdo it with too much orange. The orange was the perfect shade for the jersey, and I love the orange and blue combination. I'm not too big on them going to a dark blue with the navy that they have now, but I really like that where it's not a light blue, it's not a dark blue, it's literally just blue. Like, when I think of the color blue, that's what color their helmets were. The logo was better back then. I don't like the horse's head with the steroid neck. I don't really dig that logo now. Like, it looks like that horse got in an argument. The horse back then, where it's like bucking up in the air, I dig that a lot better. I think it's a clean look. But this, honestly, I know I still have another jersey to go, but this is probably my favorite of that entire era was this set of uniforms here.
Yeah, no, I can't blame you for this pick. Jerseys that have changed, I feel like you got to play the hits, and I don't know why they changed it. I don't dislike the one they have now. Like, the ones they have now, I think they're one of the better ones in the NFL. I'm not saying that they're the best, but I think on the scale, like, it's probably up there. But these are just so much better. Like you said, the logo on the helmet is just, it's so fucking good. Like, the D with the Bronco bucking, like, it just, and again, I think we talked about this in the pilot that we did a while ago. Denver is just kind of a cool city, and the colors of pretty much all the Denver teams pretty much reflect that. There's something cool about Colorado, and
it's my favorite state, and I will defend that till the day I die. I fucking love Colorado.
Yep. I mean, you have tons of legends that played on this team. I mean, ours number one is Elway, who again has not drafted a franchise quarterback on purpose because he wants to stay as the number one guy in Denver. But that's a topic for another day, I think. Like you said, they're just clean. They're simple. It's a hit. Like, there's no other way to slice it. I love these.
They played great football. They looked great, and they played in one of the coolest places in the States. Yep. I feel like this was just a cool team. In every way that you could phrase it. They were just a cool group of guys, and I think that part of that has to go with they look sharp. And I love these uniforms. Like I said, I know they got mixed reviews, but to me, this is my favorite pre-2000s, hands down.
Yeah, I don't know why they got mixed reviews because it's
You would
classic.
think it's common sense, right?
Yeah.
Hands down, it's just great.
Yeah.
It's a great uniform.
Yep. All right.
All right, number 2, Smalls. What you got?
Number 2. I'm going unconventional here. I feel like no one really talks about these. I'm going with the 99 Seattle Seahawks. Very, very, very underwhelming team. They made the playoffs barely. They were like 9-7. Not great. But really, they didn't even have any big names either. Like, I was doing a little research on the team. Not a ton of names to really talk about. But, dude, there's just something I love these, man. There's something very, very Pacific Northwest about them. You got the logo on the sleeve and the helmet that just looks very like Pacific Northwest, Native American. There's nothing more Pacific Northwest than blue and green. Their home jerseys actually had almost like a purple look to them. They exemplify Seattle to a T. And it's I think it's a shame that maybe they could have upgraded these, but they really went away from this, and I'm not really sure why. The silver helmet is awesome, I think. They also played.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah,
is the silver helmet, hands down.
And I usually don't love silver helmets.
Hands down.
Like the Cowboys helmet, not really one of my favorites, but this one works. There's something that's just super Seattle about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that they weren't like an incredible team or anything, but like, dude, Mike Holmgren, like basically, I don't know, he's just a mustachioed football coach. What else can you really?
I love
Holmgren. He's just a big dude, you know. He's like Andy Reid, but like not as cool.
They are, and that's. I remember when I was a kid. I used to get the two of them confused all the fucking time.
Yeah, dude.
Because I was like, oh, big fat white dude with a mustache head coach? Yep, got it. They both could probably take down the same amount of hot dogs. They both probably pull the same looking women. And they kind of have the same coaching resume, if we're going to be honest. Now, Andy Reid will surpass him if he wins this other Super Bowl. But I don't know. I mean, I always got them confused, but I like Holmgren, and I think it also helps me gain almost more respect for him that he was with such a stinky team. But I actually do really like these, and I really like that you picked their away jerseys because usually I don't like when there's too much of one color. Like, I got to be honest, a lot of people shit on me because I don't like color rush uniforms because they look like fucking crayons, and I don't dig that. You need some more variety, but this was sleek, and the silver, like you said, it's funny. That's a really good point about the Cowboys, because they also have a silver helmet, and I think that they're bland as hell. But for whatever reason, this works. I think they do have a little more color variation here, adding the green in there instead of just blue and white. But the blue, white, silver, green, like all of that culminates into a pretty good jersey, just unfortunately for a pretty shitty team.
Yeah. And I think we talked about this in the one episode we did before, but I want to bring it up again. Whenever I see these, I think so. Whenever I was growing up, me and my cousins used to play NFLopoly. It was just Monopoly, but with NFL fucking teams. And
we have to get it.
Dude, funny you say that. I need to go get it. I have NFLopoly still. So we're going to fucking play
real quick. This is a genuine concern. Do you have all of the pieces?
That's a good fucking question because I don't know. I haven't touched it in years.
Inspect, and if not, I will go in on it. We'll get it off somebody. But I think that we got to make that happen at some point. And that is a challenge to other benchers as well. That if you think you can take our money in this NFL game, I'd like to see you try.
So, and we started talking about doing an episode on this. Just to kind of go off topic for a sec, just because this is like what the vault is all about. All these old school logos,
nostalgia,
dude.
Nostalgia,
dude. You got
that's our fucking. You want to talk about a mission statement? We don't have a paragraph. It's just nostalgia.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, you just look at this game board, and I mean, let's see who do you have? Let's get the fuck out of here. You got the Ravens, you got the Oilers, you got the old Bucks logo, which I'll get to here in a little bit. Dude, there are just so many. This is a gold mine right here, and we'll make it kind of interactive. Like
we're about to pickaxe and tap into that gold for you guys to see eventually. We will keep you posted.
Yes.
On when it's going to happen. But look for that in the future for sure.
Oh yeah, no, I think that'll be a fun episode. We'll get a little teed up. We'll play some Monopoly. We'll yell at some of the other fuckers playing the game. We'll get.
To be fair, past the age of 16, I don't think I've played a game of Monopoly.
Neither have I.
So I can guarantee you that you will get some teed up entertainment from the TFTB crew. TFTB teed up. That's what we'll call it.
There we go.
And we'll be playing. NFLopoly. Derek, write this shit down because I'm giving you great ideas here. So we'll get TFTB teed up, and we'll play NFLopoly, and we'll just take all your money.
Yep, absolutely. And going back to the jersey real quick, like I said,
reel back in,
just reel it back in. This logo literally just reminds me of the game because of nostalgia. Like there's no other way to look at it. Like it's probably an unpopular opinion, and maybe that's why they changed it. But dude, this is just so 90s. It's not even funny, and I just feel like it exemplifies the Pacific Northwest, and you can't beat it. Like I think they hit this one on the head when they came out with these.
Like, I could see them doing, like, a team calendar, like, posing in front of the Space Needle and shit. You know what I mean? Like, like I do. I think it fits very well. And, you know, I will tell you if I fucking disagree. But I think that these are clean, man. And I'm actually really happy that you threw this in there because I know this isn't one that is like, oh, shit, that, you know, that's the first one to come to my mind. This is one that's very, I feel like, overlooked. And I'm super happy you threw it in there.
Yeah, and it's not the first thing at least for me, it's not the first one I think of when I think Seahawks. When I think Seahawks, I think Sean Alexander, man. I think about those, like, teal blue, sort of, teal steel
or even
gray.
Those ones where they kept the fucking blue sleeves with the bright green.
Yeah.
Those colors clash way too much. I swear to God, I've had diarrhea that was cleaner than that. I mean, but this shit is a lot fresher than that.
Yeah, no,
so I'm happy you threw this in.
Yeah, and I'm kind of lukewarm on the new ones they have now. They're okay. I feel like they're trying a little too hard. That's just my opinion, though. I think they're okay. They're fine. These I still think are the best that the franchise has had. Like,
I agree, and I know Derek Whiten is a big fan of what the Seahawks have rocking now, so I don't want to get fired from Thoughts from the Bench, but I disagree, and that is the most polite way that I can put it.
Yeah. Ben, what stadium did these guys play in? You don't know, do you?
These Seahawks?
Go ahead, no, do it.
Starbucks Park? I have no fucking idea, dude.
So, I'm going to put this on real quick. I only know this because I had the fucking game. They play in the Kingdom, and I only knew that because I had the fucking NFL 2K on the Sega Dreamcast. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, dude. I remember this shit. Look at this. This shit is ridiculous.
The Kingdom.
The Kingdom. The worst graphics of all time. Dude,
Look at that. Hey, you know what's a game that needs brought back is NFL Blitz. They need to bring that shit back.
Funny you say. I mean, dude, they just brought back NCAA. Like, what the fuck are they doing?
Which, big fucking breaking news. That obviously, for the both of us, is a big deal. Because anybody who knows me, you know, personally, I really am not much of a gamer. I'm just not.
Mm-hmm.
I'll whoop somebody's ass in 2K, and I really liked Red Dead, but other than that, the only game that I played like religiously growing up was NCAA football, and you being a huge college football nut that you are, that's got to be fucking exciting because we have been waiting for this. When was the last issue?
14.
2014.
14.
Yeah,
Denard Robinson.
2014.
Yep.
7 years. We have waited for a re-release of this game, and EA just finally broke the news. What was it, yesterday or today?
Today.
That they're re-releasing it, and that is the coolest shit ever. That they're going to be breaking out a brand new game, and with the graphics that have progressed in the last 7 years, dude, I am fucking stoked. I am stoked for NCAA football.
Cannot wait to take Miami of Ohio to a national championship. Can't fucking wait. Or no. You know what I want to do? I want to.
You're rocking with the Chanticleers?
No. That's a good call. But when I tell you what I'm gonna do, I think you're gonna appreciate it. I'm gonna go as a Stanford Cardinal and only play as the mascots.
Dude, that was, oh my god. Okay, you want to talk about fucking nostalgia? Bringing back that you could play with the mascots. I completely forgot about that. Because the trees, for anybody that hasn't ever seen the Stanford Cardinal mascot, it's a tree with a face and no arms. And then there's a quarterback chucking the football like this. And you're playing with those, like, dude, there were some awesome mascots. Like, I play with them, the Fighting Irish with the little leprechauns.
Dude, look at this shit.
There he is. There's the Stanford Cardinal. There he is. That's the tree.
Dude, well, and what was ridiculous is, like, the entire team was just fucking trees, like, hobbling around, no arms. But they're doing, like, sideways flips. They're doing, like, spins. Dude, what a fucking game. What a game.
Like, there's always some key... like the Eastern Carolina, that's the Pirates.
Yeah.
And like, I would like use them. The Florida Gators, obviously, good mascot. And I love that the Fighting Irish, like, they're the only ones that aren't wearing like suits. It's literally like a little man, like they're little dudes and they're like tackling these trees and shit. When you use the Fighting Irish, like, that is the best thing ever. The mascot.
They have to. If they don't carry that over, that's a travesty. They need to do it.
I will go to EA and piss on their doorstep if they don't make that a part of this. So, anybody who's a big college football fan, or even just good video games, you should be pretty fucking stoked for this to come out. So, what I think they're going to do would be NCAA 22, so it'll be for next year, I think, is what the schedule release is. But that is big breaking news. So if you didn't know that, you're fucking welcome, because the world's about to change again.
Hell yeah. I do want to. I talked to you and Derek about this today. I want to play you on an episode of the Vault, just for nostalgia's sake. I want to play.
I'm in.
NFL Blitz.
I'm in. 100%.
NFL Blitz.
Hands down. I'm in.
Hands down. All right. Let's get to your last jersey, man.
All right, this is it for me, guys. And this is one that I feel like kind of resonates with your Seahawks pick. This is one that often gets overlooked as well. I feel like this isn't one that is usually a first thought to a lot of people. But I really love this uniform combo, and I really like the color that they use. The Dolphins have kind of almost went with an even softer. What would you say that is, like a sea green?
It's like, not an aqua. I would say it's more of a sea green. Yeah.
So they've gone with a softer color, but this was like, it was still deep enough. It was still rich enough, and really 90s. And you've got one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Unfortunately, he didn't win a Super Bowl, but Dan Marino with this team, and they were very good. They were never able to eclipse a chip, but they did well for themselves. I love the logo. I'm not really a big fan. Oh, there he is. There's my man Dan, Pitt alum. So gotta cheer on the hometown kid. But I love their old logo. I'm not too keen on the swimming dolphin. I kind of like the one that's perched up with the helmet on with no face mask. I love that. I don't know why. I love that old logo. I think the ring around it was cleaner. Like, it was just because it's the sun. And to me, that dolphin is hopping over the sun, which I think is fucking hysterical. I really like the look. And even like what Dan is fashioning for you right now is the white jersey with the sea green. I think we're just going to stick with that. The sea green numbers with the orange outline, and we're going right back to one of my favorite points to to point out is the accent of color. The little bit of orange that's on those white jerseys, a little bit of orange it is on the sea green jerseys as well, being the outline for the white numbers. I just think that their color scheme was very good. I'm not a big fan of what they're rocking nowadays, I'll be quite honest. And I know that some people are. Some people would say it's an improvement. But to me, this makes me think 90s football, even just in the way that their numbers are, like the font of the numbers and the font of all the letters and stuff that they have on the jerseys. I really like this. This is one that I guess would be like a guilty pleasure jersey for me. I can't really explain it further than that, but I really dig these uniforms, man.
The logo, I think it's a top tier logo. Always has been. Even now, I think it's one of the better ones. I know it's not quite as good as what they had before. Still love it. And it's clean, dude. I don't know. Like, there's something really cool about the Dolphins.
It's simple,
so Miami.
It's
Miami.
It is, and that's the thing is, in past episodes we had talked about like the Heat in recent years have really adopted the personality of the city, and though this is a different color scheme, I still feel like it gives you that vibe. It gives you that vibe of the city of Miami, and I really like that. And I like, as you can see in the bottom picture here that we have shown, is the flip-flop between their home uniforms or the sea green jerseys and then the white pants, and then the opposite for their away jerseys were the white jerseys and then the sea green pants. I really like it. I think that that's a combo that gets underappreciated, and I don't know, man. There's not a lot of flaws here. It is simple, but I think it's clean. It's a good simple.
Yep. No, and I like thick stripes on helmets too. I don't know why.
I agree.
I don't know. And again, this isn't a show where we're like, hey, look at the seams on this jersey. Like, we're not, we're not looking at the fashion. That's not what we're trying to say. It's just, I don't know. Like, when you think football,
it's what fits the sport and what is aesthetically pleasing to the fans of the sport, and that's where we're coming from. That's our entire point of view for the whole
just
thing.
Fans.
So
we're just fans.
And for me, this checks all my boxes.
Yep. No, I agree. But I feel like you also kind of threw this in there because you're a Pitt guy. I mean, come on.
Okay, listen.
And I'm not calling. It's not a bad thing. I'm not like, oh no, fuck you. You picked it because of Marino. But come on, there's like a little part of you, just like a little tiny part of you that picked this because you know that one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history was a Pitt Panther, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Look, Smalls, I am honestly appalled that you would accuse me of such slander here and say that I am picking this jersey solely because of Marino, because that's just not the case. I mean, he's got a big part in it, but it's not the sole purpose of why I picked the jersey. Okay? I mean, he's only like 80%.
Well, so as I say this, I'm wearing a Saquon Barkley high school jersey, so like I can't.
Oh, you fucking homer! You can't give me shit for being a homer. If you're gonna be a homer, you're wearing Saquon right now. Oh my god!
I mean, can you fucking blame me though, dude? Come on.
I have had enough of your shit.
All right, that's great. That's a great pick.
All right, before we start talking shit on each other's colleges on a pro football episode, Smalls, let's roll into your third and final pick for the night.
All right. So, last pick. I'm going to go with the 1980 Tampa Bay Bucks.
How appropriate, huh?
That's what I'm
what's
saying.
Funny is we did not know that this was going to happen when we threw our picks together.
No.
That the Bucks would be in the Super Bowl. So, hey, you hit it right on the head, man. This is a perfect final pick for this week.
Dude, creamsicle. I know we said cream is clean.
Hey, what do we say? Fans of the show, cream is clean.
Hey, cream is clean. Am I right, guys?
Yes, sir.
This team was dog shit, though. What a fucking atrocious team.
Cream is clean. Their record was anything but clean.
Well, you know what's crazy though? 1979, they went 10-6. Not many people know that. They went 10-6. 1980, they
They
went,
also went 10-6 in 2011 and didn't make the playoffs, but the 7-9 Seahawks did.
which fucked.
I'll never forget that because I felt really bad for Raheem Morris and Josh Freeman. I don't know why I'm bringing this shit up, but to be fair, that team was the first team since they retired these jerseys to bring them back. That year, they brought them back as a throwback, and they wore them twice that season. So that's how we tie it around. That's how we bring it full circle.
Yeah, full circle. That's what we do here. But dude, these are awesome. These are my favorite throwbacks ever. There's no other way to look at it. I love these things. The creamsicle is just such a good color. It's so Florida and Tampa, and like it's perfect. The logo, and I'll get to the caveat in a second, but the logo, I love the logo. The logo is such like a 70s NFL logo. Despite how bad the team was, they had some fire ass uniforms. They also, I didn't even know this really until recently. Doug Williams, who would later go on to win a Super Bowl with the Redskins.
Formerly Washington Redskins, currently Washington football team.
The R words. Yep, the R words.
That sounds way worse.
I know. But Doug Williams was drafted by the Bucks. He was their rookie quarterback. So I feel like not many people really remember that. But before he went on to win a Super Bowl in Washington, he was a Tampa Bay Buccaneer wearing these. They are perfect. Like, they are 70s football. I don't care how bad the team was. They are 70s football. I don't know. They just feel so Tampa. Like, there's no other way to say it. They're
playing in the Sunshine State, and they got these fucking Florida oranges looking jerseys like they were plucked right off a fucking tree down there. I mean, this did. I think, you and me also, we give a lot of credit to when teams incorporate what feels like a personality of the city, and I think that they should.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I feel like a lot of teams have done well. There's obviously been a few misses, but Tampa at the time, and I think what's funny is that you and me have talked about this before. A lot of people fucking hated these jerseys.
I know, at the time.
Back then. And that's like, I feel like a lot of people in our generation look back and you're like, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that now. And that's when that 2011 Bucks team brought these uniforms back. I was a fan.
Yeah.
And I like them because I do like that orange in play, kind of like we referenced before with the Broncos, is that orange is used to where it's the base, but it's not overwhelming. And I think the Bucks did, honestly, a great job. And what sucks is those people didn't get credit for it until decades later. So,
well, it's also hilarious because our high school, our alma mater, fucking stole this logo.
Hey, Cavaliers.
Ugh. The thing is, I think it's a great logo. It's a fucking pirate, dude. Has a fucking, has a little dagger in his mouth. Like, I think it's
no matter
cool.
Whether it's labeled as a pirate, is a buccaneer, it's a cavalier, it's some kind of swashbuckler.
Dude, is a cavalier a swashbuckler though?
I think they swash some buckles, and if not, like, I think I might make a team. Like we should start maybe a TFTB softball team, and we're the thoughts from the bench swashbucklers, and or something like that. Maybe I'll figure something out. I'll work on that and get back to you.
All right, no, nice. I mean, the team was dog shit. I think that's the worst part about it. Like, it sucks because they never had an actual good team. This is how shitty the team was. This was their preseason ad. Hey, go buy tickets. And it looked like the fucking VCR print at the bottom.
Yikes.
That's how bad the team was. Their uniforms were fire, but the team was fucking horrendous. It's a tough look, but I mean, that's my last pick. Those are my favorite. I think they might be my favorite NFL jerseys ever.
Well, I I can't go that far, but I understand where you're coming from, and
Yeah.
I do like them. Like I said, it is a shame that so many people shit on them for so long, but I really think that this is one of the better ones. And there was actually a movement on Twitter. I don't know if you saw any of this, but for the Bucks to on Sunday wear the creamsicle
That'd be
jerseys,
so
and
fucking
and I'll
sick.
tell you
Yeah.
what, I think Tom Brady is a giant human chode, but he said that he would be for it. They're obviously not going to do that, but that would be pretty awesome if they came out in creamsicle jerseys. And you might even catch me rooting for them just for half a second if they were to
Only
do
because
that.
you have money on them.
I do not.
Not
I do
yet.
not.
Not yet.
And I'm not going to put money on them because I can't willingly bet for Brady, but I definitely can't bet against him. So I'm leaving my money in my pocket this weekend.
Hey.
Is what I'm saying.
Hashtag cream
Hey.
is clean.
Cream is clean.
Even though it's creamsicle.
Cream is clean.
Cream is clean. All right.
Creamsicle is clean sickle.
That nice.
All right,
try.
just cream is clean.
Nice,
We'll go back. We'll
nice
go back.
try.
Rewind. Cream is
No,
clean.
you had your chance. You're done. You're done.
Hey,
right.
These honorable mentions though, I can vouch for as well. So Smalls, go ahead, take that top one.
So I got the Pats. Hate the fucking franchise. Love the logos, man. They look like you're walking into a barbershop, but the logos are clean. Like it's 70s. It's cartoony. It's a fucking. It's fucking Paul Revere hiking logos. A ball. It's Paul Revere hiking a ball. What more do you want?
He's fixing his bayonet at noon, and he's snapping a football at 1. That's what he's doing. That's a hard-working fucking pioneer. So I'm all for it, man. I think that was one of the better logos, period. Mm-hmm. And I did like seeing the Pats wear these when they would bring them back as their throwbacks. But those were very nice.
Yeah, it's mostly the logo that I like. The rest of it's fine. The logo's awesome. I also wanted to throw in there the Falcons. Just
dude, I love these actually, and this is one that I'm upset slipped my mind.
It's weird because there's nothing really special about them, but it's just kind of better than what they have now. It's just better.
It looks tough,
and they like kind of brought this back like a little bit. It's not quite
to a point, but it wasn't as cool as before. But I think, and you picked the perfect picture too, because you've got one of the baddest NFL players of all time. You got prime-time Deion Sanders, and the time that he was there, man, did he give them some relevancy? I mean, he made them look like they knew what the fuck they were doing. And even just the logo, the blackout was awesome. And I like that they didn't go all the way like with the pants, but I feel like the helmet and the jersey correlation was just on point. Now, I'm honestly really happy that we were able to stuff this one in towards the end of the show.
Oh, yeah. Again, that's another logo that is in NFLopoly that we're going to have to play on the air.
Absolutely.
Get a little teed up. TFTB teed up.
For sure.
All right. Like we talked about last week, we want to do submission of the week. First, we had Mr. Deke Whiten, founder. This week, submission of the week, we're going with the LA Rams, courtesy of Sir Ryan Botash.
Love you, Bo.
Love you, though. Dude, that poop gold that the Rams were wearing for a little bit, garbage. Their new jerseys also pretty bad. It looks like I made that in word art.
Yeah,
I made that in word art on Microsoft Word. These things are awesome. Like no other way around it. These are sick. The colors are
These
awesome.
Look like genuinely like rough and tough, like one of those high schools that did really well. Like they look like a high school uniform, but it was like it reminds you of those like little towns who have nothing but their high school football, but they're a good ass fucking football team.
Yep.
But the fact that this was in light bright LA at the time, and they had some guys back then when before they moved to St. Louis that they weren't terrible, they weren't good, but they weren't terrible. Right. But now they're back in LA, And so who knows? Maybe we'll get to see some throwbacks like this come back. But Vo, thank you for giving us a submission, and pay attention to Thoughts from the Bench on social media so that you can kind of have a jump start on what we're going to be doing for the next week, because we want to keep these fan submissions coming in and people watch the show, and so we can feature you, give you a shout out just like we did today. So Votash, thank you, buddy. We really appreciate you, and looking forward to keeping this segment up for sure.
Yes, sir. So, Ben, I feel like that topic, we built. I think we got a lot out of not very much, because NFL is hard because there aren't. Whereas like minor league baseball, tons to choose from. Whereas like, we've talked about even just like special edition jerseys, tons to pick from. College football, tons to pick from. This one, it was a pretty rigid set of rules. Or pretty small pool
guidelines, and to be fair, because there was some pretty shit ones back then too. So yeah. I think that we did have more of a limited gallery, but especially with the Super Bowl coming up this week, I think like I couldn't focus on anything other than football, and I did kind of want to take a trip back and see some of the ones that make us smile or give us good memories of what tough football used to look like. And I'm really happy that we did it this week, and with the Super Bowl in just a couple days, this was by far the best fit, I feel.
Absolutely, Ben. Appreciate you joining me, brother. Always a good time. Guys, if you like us, if you even find us remotely amusing or even sad, if you feel bad for us, share us. I don't care. I'll take the pity shares, whatever.
Oh yeah, I'll take a pity share every fucking day.
Whatever.
Every fucking day. Unless you're from Philly, go fuck yourself. But if you're not from Philly,
I love
Philly. The show.
I love people from Philly. I don't like Philly, but I love people from Philly. Vince Luongo, Anthony Russo, shout out to you guys. Had to put that Eagles jersey in there for you guys. Next week, I don't even know what we're doing yet. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out.
Well, you know what? That's another hashtag we need to put out there just on us, because I feel like every week we say, I don't really know, but we'll figure it out. That's pretty much it. So, hey, whenever TFTB, if we ever get the fucking merch store going back up, we're giving you a gold mine.
Figure it out.
Right now, we got Cream is Clean, Figure It Out, and then the Vault in general. But again, as we say every week, thank you everybody for tuning in and listening to two knuckleheads bullshit about jerseys. We can't thank you enough, and this is why we do what we do. We get to bring our passion to the people, and you guys show us some back. And I mean, this is fucking awesome, man. It's by far one of the best things I'm a part of. I appreciate you for letting me co-host and come aboard with you. And guys, this is just a fucking start. So if you like what you see, please give us some feedback, and we love to keep this thing rolling.
Yep, give us feedback. Give us a share. Submit your jerseys for that next week. Like, we want to interact with you guys. We want to do whatever we can. Like, we just want to be a show for the people, a show for the fans out there. So please give us some love. Like, even if you hate us, give us some love. Feel bad for us. Pity us. I don't care. I'll take whatever. I'm not ashamed. Ben.
Yeah, and if any Philadelphians want to argue, you bring it to me too. I'll field them all day.
Yes, sir. Hey, this has been The Vault, brought to you by Thoughts from the Bench, the weekly show that takes a look back at some of the best and worst sports jerseys of all time. This week we looked at some of the best NFL jerseys pre the year 2000. Next week we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But appreciate it, guys. Ben, pick up that stream, water boy. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, my God.